Hi, welcome to the Urban Outdoorsman SoCal video. My name is Danny Milton, and today we're at La Costa Preserve. Today we're going to be going down Nascar Trail. I'm going to have a separate video for just the Nascar Trail. We're also going to be doing some drone testing. I have the Skydio 2. You can see it right there on the bench behind me. We're going to hopefully have that drone follow us all the way down. I've got the beacon set up a little bit differently. I'll show you what it looks like on my bike. I'm going to have my phone here in this chest pocket. And hopefully this area is pretty wide open. There's just like high brush. The drone should do a pretty good job tracking us all the way down. I'm going to do the run a couple of times. The first time probably have the drone out in front of me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have in one corner of the screen, I'm going to show you the screen record so you can see exactly all the telemetry that the drone is recording, you know, how fast it's going, the distance and all that kind of stuff. So on the other corner of the screen, I'm going to have the actual drone footage. That way you can see exactly what you'd be getting if you were using this drone in this type of scenario. All right, about to drop into NASCAR. We've got the screen record going, got the drone recording there. Drone's supposed to be out in front of me. Got a lot of switchbacks here though. Only done it twice before today, so I got to kind of figure out a couple of lines. Now we're doing switchbacks back and forth a lot. So drone's doing a good job of staying in front. All right, did a little bit better on that section. I did, not the drone. Drone's doing great so far. Woo. Oh, yeah, chunky section. I'm sure there's a better line through there, but that's the one I did. Why do I feel like I went the wrong way? That looks like a really steep drop there. Oh, it's not that bad. Whew. Chunky McChunkyson. It's a couple of different alt lines you could take on this trail. You definitely want to keep your momentum. Some of these chunky bits. Outside line. Oh yeah, so chunky this trail. That was probably the wrong line. I went left, I probably should have gone right. All right, drone, I'm moving quickly. Oh, big double. I think that's all she wrote. But the drone kept up with me the entire time down the trail. You know, there are a lot of switchbacks, so it's kind of hard for it to stay in front of me the whole time. But as soon as it was able to catch back up, it would get right back to in front of me. It followed me the entire way down the trail. I haven't looked at the footage yet, but it, you know, it kept up with me. I think having the beacon right here in my top tube, or maybe, you know, in the armband on my sleeve, on my shoulder, is a little bit better than having it stowed away in the pocket here. However, I'm going to put the drone out to my right hand side. Sometimes it's going to be on the high side of the trail. What I'm going to do though is that first run we had the drone at the closest proximity. I'm going to push it one dot farther out, so it has a little bit more space in between me and the drone. All right, got the drone up in the air. It's going to be starting off to my right. As soon as you start moving, it'll swing over. Got the phone screen recording, and yeah, let's see if we can pick some better lines going down the trail this time. This is the first challenging line. At least it was the first time, just because I didn't know what to do. Drone's still on me. It's a little farther away, so I couldn't hear it for a second. Every time we switch back in this direction, it has to really swing out quickly to my right. Where's my line? Just got to remember to stay off that front brake. Almost killed myself the first time through that section. Drone's still on us. Zigzagging back and forth. It's really having to think about what it's going to do every time I switch directions. It's like right now it's going to be on my right, so I swing back around to my right side, and then we switch back around, it's got to do a full 180 to the other way. Woo. Oh, that's a chunky section. Woo. Super chunky. If I can get my feet on the pedals, woo, go loose through there. I wish I hadn't stopped back there, dagnabbit. Oh well. I think that was the chunky section that I almost aided on last time. Just got to remember to stay off my front brake. I was feathering my front brake and kind of got in between two spots. Front tire grabbed. Oh. All right. There's definitely a better way to flow this trail than what I'm doing, but still having fun. Woo. All into the rut. Almost at the bottom. That's another spot where I probably should have gone wide to the right. Drone's still on us. That's pretty amazing. I know for a fact the Mavic Air 2 would have lost me way back. There's a big double that we're not hitting, and I probably could have hit that jump. Whew. Oh, and that's NASCAR. I did 2 full runs down NASCAR. The drone never lost me once. Now you can see from the actual screen record that there are several times where, you know, the little blue halo is kind of circling around me, and that means that the drone is locked onto you through the phone. Anytime it loses that connection, you know, sometimes the drone will get too far, or you'll go behind a bush, something like that. You'll see the big, you know, GPS kind of circle appear around the center of the screen where it believes you are, and that means that the drone is tracking the beacon. So from the first run, you can see the drone stayed with me the whole time. It was, you know, flying all over the place. I had it in the closest distance setting when I set it up to start following me. You know, every time we would take, you know, a 180-degree turn, it would have to speed up and swing around to get back in front of me. I was watching the drone a little bit as I was going down the trail, and it was just all over the place. I mean, like a swarm of bees flying left, right, you know, speeding up, getting out back in front of me. But the footage is still really smooth. Like, it's not, you know, I saw that drone, it's getting like 45-degree angles. It's sliding through around to get back in front of me, and that video is staying perfectly horizontal, and really nice footage. So several times when I would switch directions, the drone would have to really speed up to almost over 20 miles per hour sometimes to get back around in front of me. And that is something the DJI Mavic Air 2 was never able to do. If you haven't seen any of my Mavic Air 2 videos, I'll put a link to the list right there. I did a whole slew of after track videos with the Mavic Air 2. The Mavic Air 2S, from what I've been told, people have been telling me that it does track better, but I'm pretty sure that the speed limits are about the same as far as tracking a person. It's going to be around 16 or 17. So already the Skydio 2 is beating it being able to get up around over 20 miles per hour to track me on my bike. So on the second run, I wanted to have the drone out to my right. That's where I set it up to record me from, although I did push it out to the second dot of distance. I'll show you on the screen what that looks like. As soon as you launch a drone and it's motion tracking you, you can change the distance at which you set it to track you from, which is something else that the Mavic Air 2 cannot do. So I pushed this one out a little bit farther just to give it a little bit more kind of leeway as to be able to anticipate my moves going, you know, back and forth on the trail. Several times as we're going downhill, and if the drone was on the high side of the mountain, you know, you've got the mountain coming down at an angle like this, and if it was on my right, it was on the high side, you can see several times it gets close to the bushes, but never came in contact with any of those as it was following me. So something that happened on that second run is sometimes when that drone was on the high side of the mountain, you know, close to the bushes and stuff, just because of the angle that it was looking at me, you know, the bushes were kind of obscuring half of me and my bike as I was going down the trail. It used that GPS, you know, tracking a lot more often during that second run. And because it was farther away, every time we would take one of those, you know, 180-degree turns away from the drone, it would have to speed up either around the front of me or around the back of me to get back to my right side because we're switching directions. And a couple of times you can see that the drone gets well over 30 miles per hour to get back into that, you know, that right hand position, which is definitely something the Mavic Air 2 cannot do while it's tracking you. So overall, I'm really happy with the results I got from the drone today. I know there was not a lot of trees for the drone to have to kind of follow me around or anything like that. Having the drone directly out in front of me and basically, you know, staying out in front of me for probably 75% of the time going down this trail is just amazing. It's you know, the Mavic Air 2 can't get anywhere near that. Anytime you'd set the drone out in front of you to record, as soon as you'd start moving more than like 3 or 4 miles per hour, it would just fall behind you and just, you know, follow from behind down the trail. So this is definitely an advantage of the Skydio 2, is being able to set that drone anywhere completely around you and have it stay there or get back to that spot anytime you switch direction. So this is the second time I've been out on my mountain bike using the Skydio 2 to track me, and it is completely blowing the Mavic Air 2 out of the water. I know a lot of people are saying that the Mavic Air 2 West does a better job at tracking, but I guarantee you it's not going to come anywhere near what the Skydio 2 is capable of. Being able to, like I said, set that distance anywhere 360 degrees around you, front, back, side, left. Also being able to set that distance is something else that the Mavic Air 2 is not capable of. Like I said, it usually only has that fall, that trace from behind you, or maybe a parallel mode. The thing that is really setting the Skydio 2 apart from the DJI drones is the beacon. The beacon is an additional cost. You know, it's not something that DJI offers, but with the Skydio 2, I believe it's $180 additional cost to the drone itself. But if you're going to be using this drone for action sports, it's a necessity, because it's taking the drone tracking features to the next level, and like I said, just blowing DJI out of the water. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. I'm going to be doing a bunch more tests with this Skydio 2. I just recently went out to one of my favorite mountain biking trails where I just happened to do a video for active track with the Mavic Air 2. I'm going to be going down the same exact trails using the Skydio 2, same situations, trying to make it as even as possible, except for the Skydio 2 has the beacon. So make sure you do all that fun stuff for me, please. Like, share, comment, definitely subscribe to the channel. Click that bell notification so you do get notified when those future videos are going to be coming out. Last but not least, click on one of these boxes. One will take you to the Skydio playlist, the other one to the Mavic Air playlist, and you can click that logo over there, the Urban Outdoorsman SoCal logo, to subscribe. Thanks a lot.